Abdominal incisions. We'll start with an MCQ. 45-year-old female present with previous abdominal surgeries. What is the name of the incision? So that is represented by green arrow. Here you can able to see two arrows. One is green arrow, another one is orange arrow. The question is, what is the green arrow incision? So options are lower midline vertical incision, option B lower right paramedian, option C lower left paramedian, and option D gridiron incision. Here the answer is option B, that is lower right paramedian incision. So we will go into the discussion about this paramedian incision. What is paramedian incision? So first I will put this is the abdomen and this is the midline incision and midline. Right paramedian incision or left paramedian incision, it's an incision you have to put 2.5 centimeter lateral and parallel to the midline. This is called paramedian incision. So how will you put this incision? I will put on another picture. So this is the skin and this is the anterior rectus and this one is posterior rectus. Inside that you got the rectus muscle. So this is rectus muscle and this part is the linea alba. Okay, so you should put an incision 2.5 centimeter. This is a midline, 2.5 centimeter from this region. Laterally you have to put the incision. Okay, so first you open the skin, then followed by anterior rectus sheath you can open. Then the rectus, two ways you have to angle the rectus. One, from the medial cut margin of the rectus sheath you try to retract the rectus muscle completely. Okay, try to retract the rectus muscle completely. So this is one way. Okay, so once you retract the rectus muscle, then you can go into the posterior rectus sheath. Open the posterior rectus sheath, then peritoneum is there, so that also you can open and you can reach the peritoneal cavity. This is one way. In some cases you are not doing the rectus, so rectus muscle can be either divided or splitted. If you want to divide, you have to divide in the along the line of incision only. You have to divide the rectus muscle. Okay, because only in the lateral aspect or posterior aspect the nerve supplying the rectus is coming. So you try to don't go laterally. You have to try to go along the line of incision or go along the just close to the medial aspect you can go. So what is the advantage of paramedian incision is, so you are putting the rectus muscle, putting back into the original position and you are closing all these layers. It gives the strength to the abdominal wall. Whereas if you do midline vertical incision, then there is more chances to get the herniation like ventral hernia, incisional hernia, all these because of the weakness of abdominal wall. Whereas in paramedian incision the chances are very less. So depends upon the location you will put a paramedian incision, whether it is a right or left depends upon you have to put, and depends upon the pathology also. Okay, so this is right paramedian, this is left paramedian. So what is the pathology is the underlying pathology, based on that you have to put the paramedian incision. Okay, next we are going to talk about other incisions. Like first one is the midline vertical incision. This you all know, midline vertical incision. Midline vertical incision is common incision, commonly useful for the exploratory laparotomy. Okay, so you can put the incision from zipisternum to pubic symphysis. So this is commonly useful for all the exploratory laparotomy. Next paramedian, just now we discussed paramedian. and right subcostal incision. What is this right subcostal incision? Which is nothing but you have to put 2 centimeter below and lateral to the right subclavicular region. This is right subcostal incision, otherwise called Coccus incision, mainly useful for gallbladder surgery and common bile duct exploration and liver surgeries. Then this one is the left subcostal incision. This incision is commonly useful for the any surgery you are doing, mainly for splenic surgeries. Okay, splenectomy and all these things is commonly useful. And combination of these two, that is both subcostal, right subcostal and left subcostal, it is called as rooftop incision or bucket handle incision. So this can be useful in cases of whenever you are doing surgery for stomach and pancreas. This incision can be useful. Next one is the umbilical, that is a transverse incision. Either you can put transverse incision supraumbilically or infraumbilically. This incision commonly useful in case of pediatric surgeries. And the next one is the gridiron incision. So gridiron incision is, as you all know, that it is commonly useful in appendicectomy. So what is gridiron incision? Okay, so this is the umbilicus and this line is the spino-umbilical line. In that line, medial two-third and lateral two-third, this point is called McBurney's point. So perpendicular to the McBurney's point, you are making an incision that is called as gridiron incision, commonly useful for doing appendicectomy. Next one is the Lane's incision. Here Lane's incision is nothing but a transverse incision through the McBurney's point. Transverse incision. This is also useful for doing appendicectomy. It produces cosmetic effect. So young female, you try to put the Lane's incision. Then last one is the phalansteal incision. What is this phalansteal? Which is nothing but transverse suprapubic incision. So this incision commonly useful for all gynecological or pelvic surgeries. Okay, and last one is the inguinal incision. Inguinal incision is the incision you have to put for all inguinal hernia surgeries. This you have to put 1.25 centimeter above and parallel to the medial half of inguinal ligament.